Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Coming to you live from the outskirts of the internet. This is the Gaming Saloon for May 4th, 2019, with your hosts, Spacebreaker2448 and Rampant Epsilon.
Hi.
Geo annoyed me because it did the thing I expected them to do. And it still annoys me that they decided to do the thing I expected them to do. Which is a bad thing, by the way, folks.
But if you expected them to do it, then to be fair, I feel like you shouldn't be annoyed.
I know. You did 2 good tributes, and then you fucked up the Hibiki one. Because of course you did. God damn it. And then we're going to move into Kiba, which will probably just be 1 episode just about. Because it's muddled in with the Ginga introduction, and I assume Wa's getting his Ginga form within 2 weeks. So Kiba's not going to be the big focus. Or no, it won't. Yeah, it will get divided focus in these 2 episodes. So thanks, Geo. Thanks. Fuck the show. I hate it. I hate it so much. But
I mean, what's there to hate? It's a mid-tier show.
It is not a mid. I am sorry, Molinus. I saw your tier rankings, but no, I disagree vehemently with your placement of both Geo and Kabuto in that listing. I am sorry, but both of those shows suck.
Yeah, I hard disagree also.
I'm starting to wonder if Kabuto wasn't a big introduction for a lot of people, and that's why it gets ranked higher. Because people have a lot of nostalgia for it. Because I know some people got introduced to Rider through Kabuto. Maybe that's it. I don't know. I just don't see the good quality in Kabuto. Nor do I see the good quality in Geo. Somebody needs to do a deep dive analysis that I will be willing and happily to sit down and watch however long it is for you to give me an argument, for you to show me what is good about either one of these shows at this point. Because I don't see it. Well, we got fun stuff to talk about this week. But I guess before we get into that, Tommy, what have you been playing these last couple weeks?
Well, about the only thing to note is I've played Tetris 99 and Celeste. And I have a newfound respect for any speedrunner of Celeste. That game is far harder than it looks.
Mm-hmm.
But I think that's really about been it.
I got my second win in Tetris 99, and I got a solo win in Fortnite, thanks to baller strats that I don't have the replay for anymore, because replays get out of date on updates even if you save them. Which sucks. I'm starting to think I should stop playing Ruby Amity Arena because there's just not a whole lot of good balance in that game. And there's not a really good way of leveling up your cards. Because I found out the main problem with the game. The currency you use to upgrade your cards when you have enough of the cards, you just don't get enough of it after a while. When your cards are in the level 7 and 8 ranges and they need 1,000 to 2,000 to probably more than that, you just don't get enough of that after a while. I think after 2 months of having 6 cards requiring $2,000 in Lin experience a piece, I'm finally down to 1. because I got enough refined dust to get the 1,000 Lin like drop multiple times. But still, it is ridiculous, that part. It also doesn't help that I still think Cinder costs way less than she should. Because I think she's a 2 cost. She needs to be a 4 cost, considering her what she can do. I also hate like the Alpha Beowulf and I think the Beowulf pack, because neither one of them get pulled off Neo, or not Neo. I can't think of her name, but it's a unit that has a taunt. Neither one of those units get pulled by the taunt. They go straight for your tower no matter what. And that Alpha Beowulf will smack about 300 health off your tower before you can possibly even react and stop it. Because of how fast it is. Which is obnoxious. It's guaranteed damage. At least Swai, who can hit, has not only delay on the hit, but also can only hit for so much on landing. I think it only hit for maybe 100 or 200. But this Alpha Beowulf can hit for a lot more than that. But yeah, I think I might be done with the game for a while. Because I just want to do the Battle for Beacon 1, which apparently is supposed to have different characters you can choose, but there are no different characters to choose, because it's pretty much a beta game mode at the moment. And also, if your account level is not high enough, good luck beating the last levels of it, because your level in that game mode is directly tied to your account level. And guess what the only way to upgrade your account level is? Really?
Hey.
No, leveling up cards.
Oh.
I am just barely not level 8. I can't beat the stage 10 because I'm too low a level. I think if I can get to level 8, I can beat stage 10. And I think it's done. I think that's the last stage. It's probably not. If it's not, I'm probably done. Because I'm not dealing with this anymore. If you don't want me to play the game, if you don't let me play the game at a reasonable pace, I'm going to stop playing your game because I don't care. I have vehemently lost interest. I hopped back on Hyrule Warriors today for a little bit. Because I was in the mood. Do what?
How'd that go?
It was fun. I got to play as my poor directionless child for a little while and was really happy. Although I did see somebody who said Fire Emblem Warriors was better than Hyrule Warriors, and I was like,
no.
That is literally the first time I've ever heard that. And as someone who's played both, I disagree, because Hyrule Warriors is better. The roster is way more varied. Like, every character feels unique and different. Fire Emblem Warriors is nowhere close to that. A quarter of that roster feels the same as each other, due to how the class system is set up. So, no, I disagree. That is honestly about it outside of what I've streamed. Which, was this week's Ace Attorney like better paced? Xbox wise? Okay. I thought it felt that way. It also didn't help that I had to step away 3 times because dog was being a butt. And I had to deal with that. Yeah. So, shall we get to Sonic? Because I might as well just put it on the table. We'll talk about Sonic first. just to get it out of the way.
I feel like that's a loaded question.
What, being ready to talk about this fucking movie?
Yeah, because you know it's bad when everyone hates the movie. Like when it's a universal hate.
You know, it's even funnier when this same actor who's playing the cop and the main character was literally just in a movie like this, and there is a literal mirroring shot of him in a car talking to a short CGI animal of some variety. He was in Hop 2. That's not a good
familiar.
Yeah, he is. Same person. And I'm willing to bet same kind of movie. Because, like, I'm going to say this up front. Sonic's design is not the only problem in this movie. Fixing Sonic's design will not make this movie better. This movie is either going to be boring as fuck or just bad. There is no going to be good for this movie from what this trailer has shown us. Because this is the bare bones, basic, most boring thing they could have done with Sonic in a movie. Which is, let's pluck Sonic out of his good, interesting world with all of his interesting friends and characters and stuff and put him in the real world. And oh, let's have this be the origin of Robotnik and why he hates Sonic. That's it. That's his fucking movie in a nutshell. That's the most boring thing in the fucking world. Also, I have a question.
Okay.
Is Sonic a brighter blue than he normally is in this movie?
I don't really feel like it, though.
Okay. I kind of felt like it was, but I didn't know if I was just imagining it or not. Because he looks a little brighter than we normally see Sonic as. Like, he normally has a darker blue. That might just be me, though.
I think it kind of depends, but I didn't feel like that was the problem.
Okay. It was just something I noticed. It's not the problem. Granted, the Sonic side sucks anyway. It was just one of those, wait a minute, is he a brighter blue than he should be? But besides the trailer, we also got this tweet from the director. And this is apparently confirmed it's the director, or at least we can assume it's the director, promising that the design will be changed. Tommy, you want to guess when this movie comes out?
When?
November of this year. November 8th, specifically. That's, what, 5 months? 6-ish?
Yeah.
You're telling me you're going to alter the design to some potentially radical degree in 6 months to make this better? I'm just going to say, you're full of bullshit. That is not how this works. That is not how any of this works. Do not believe this, folks. Because think about what they have to do if they change the design in any radical way. All the posters, all that marketing material, all has to be redone from scratch. Or all has to be redone because they have to re-render Sonic for all of it.
Sometimes I disagree with the places we get articles from.
Why?
Apparently, they are trying to spin it as not everyone hated the realistic design of him. No. From what I've seen, most people were like, oh my god, they've made him into a furry. I hate it because of that. And from some of the comments that I was seeing too, people from the furry community were like, no. Just no. So it's one of those, it's like, who's this lone person that lives under a rock that didn't hate it? Because I kind of got the vibe that everyone hated it.
I think it's on the spectrum of hate to I don't really care for this. Because here's the funny thing. I was listening to Game Informer's podcast a little bit when they were talking about the trailer. One of the guys showed his 7-year-old daughter the trailer. Guess what happened when she saw Sonic?
What?
She cringed. She at the sight of Sonic in this trailer. A 7-year-old kid who presumably is the target audience for this fucking movie. Maybe.
No. You know what's sad? I have to think that the target audience for this movie is like our generation. The ones that have the nostalgia for Sonic.
Then you have done the least interesting thing anyone in our generation would be interested in by going, this Detective Pikachu is more interesting than this on a plot level. And that's probably not that complicated. At least it looks more interesting than this. Yeah, back to what I was saying. They have to change all the marketing material. They have to change all of the shots that Sonic is in. And it, depending on the how radically different it is, especially if they change his proportions, like if he gets shorter, as I've seen some people do their redesigns of, if anyone tries to touch his head, they have to reshoot it. Or try to mask it to where they are not touching 2 feet in the air above his head. That's reshoots. You have 6 months to do all that. Also, that all costs money. This is a $90 million budget movie. Without advertising counted for, I believe, because they usually don't account for advertising in budgets. So, yeah, even if they did all that, they run the risk of this movie not making its money back. Because I guarantee you, this is probably going to have a rough time making its money back in November. Because people have had 4 months to say no to this movie, and now this trailer has reinforced that no. So, yeah, I don't know why everyone is all up in arms going, yay, we got them to change the design, when it ain't gonna be changed that much. I'm sorry, I gotta look at this realistically and say, even if they did, the movie will either be delayed, or the budget will increase to some capacity that will guarantee this movie won't make its money back.
Yeah.
Well, here's a quickie. It's that time of year again. The COD is in season, and we will apparently find out before June, the end of June, about the new Call of Duty. And apparently it's Modern Warfare 4. That also had a group of football players playing it. college football players playing it. Apparently. Okay. So how do you feel? Are you excited for a new Call of Duty?
I'm debating on giving a sarcastic remark.
I was fully expecting to accept the silence as no.
Good assumption.
Yeah, no. I don't know. I'm probably just someone who's burnt out on FPSs. Mainly because the major FPSs out there right now are like your Call of Duties and your Battlefields, and I just don't care.
But what about Fortnite?
That's a third-person shooter.
Fair.
I said I'm burnt out on FPSs, not third-person shooters. Because unfortunately, FPSs, I don't know, I just need something more than just a corridor shooter right now for an FPS for me to care. Like, something like Super Hot looks cool and interesting, and I would probably play that for like $20. Which, is Super Hot like $20?
I don't honestly remember. I know it's not up there anyhow.
Yeah, that looks cool as an FPS of just, alright, here's a puzzle FPS. Essentially. Like, kill everybody in this room and don't die. Like, I dig that. Like, I want more of that. More of, like, not going from room to room trying to kill people.
I mean, I wouldn't mind and I'm gonna say it this way to be completely clear more than anything else, but I wouldn't mind like another classic Halo style game where it had a strong enough story to where, yeah, it's a shooter, but it's not exactly feeling like that either.
That too.
Because, okay, case in point, one thing in common with all the ones you were mentioning, the story's repetitive. It's been done repeatedly.
Also,
like,
25.
I didn't think it was more than 30 anyhow, but I didn't want to say that.
Yeah.
But I mean, and really, Super Hot does kind of fit into that same concept there too, because it does have a strong enough story to not even really feel like a shooter.
Yeah. I also would like something like Resistance, where it's just like, alright, here's a gun, but it does more things than just be a gun. It has, like, utility to it. Like, you have a gun that you tag people, and you can, like, hold the gun straight up and shoot it, and the bullets go straight to him. Or you have a gun that shoots through walls, so you can get people behind cover. Or, like, just, like, guns that have more than just shoot bullets at different rates and different damage. I want to have fun. And unfortunately, Call of Duty and Battlefield just don't look like fun to me anymore. So, that's Call of Duty. And better news, Borderlands! We had a gameplay reveal event on Twitch where essentially they flew out like 40, 50 Twitch streamers and just went, alright, here's a demo. Now we're going to drop you on the planet, because the catch for Borderlands 3 is you'll be using a ship to explore other planets, to explore or to access different vaults for, I assume, plot reasons. And the villains are essentially obnoxious Twitch streamers. They're obnoxious live streamers that you really want to punch in the face because they're jackasses. But yeah, they essentially went like, all right, here, we're going to drop you on the planet, like, pretty much at the start of it. Do whatever you want for an hour. Or, I think an hour and a half. And surprising enough, John was one of them. So, if you want to see his end of it, it should be archived on his channel. But
also,
yeah, you could just...
You say about, surprisingly enough, he was one of them. The man constantly can just turn on a stream. He doesn't even have to play a game. And he'll get like 1,000 viewers. So it's like, yeah, I could completely understand him being picked for one of those.
Well, the thing is, he didn't know until like a week before this event. So he had to fly out to this event and then immediately fly out to Coliseum. Yeah. All the while, Lugagen is back home, like, helping get their new house ready so they can move in when he gets back from Coliseum. Yeah. Also, he was packing all of his stuff before he flew out for this event in Coliseum. Which means packing up a lot of games.
Yeah.
And a lot of other stuff, so yeah. But, like, from what I saw, it looked like a Borderlands game. There's a gun that shoots cheeseburgers. Like, it seems like they're going for the, alright, what dumb things can we do with guns? I believe there's a gun that when you reload, you toss it on the ground and it becomes a turret.
Huh, that actually sounds interesting.
Yep. I believe, what is his name? Not the girl that was one of the two characters that they've shown off. Was it Zane? It's one of the two that he has a decoy that you can set up, but you can also teleport yourself to the decoy and swap positions with it. So, like, you can set it up somewhere, go somewhere else, and while, like, it's shooting people and you're shooting people, you can decide to swap around. Yeah, I believe it's Zane. And the other character they showed off was Amari, who just is... How much do you want to punch people with 6 arms? Her entire toolkit is around how hard and how big do you want your punches to be? Yeah, it looks like a Borderlands game. It looks good. Granted, it's a looter shooter, but oh look, it's a looter shooter that doesn't have to have a live service attached to it to make it garbage. And also, it will have microtransactions, but only in the cosmetic variety, so
They're taking a page out of Riot's book.
Pretty much. So it's like, fine. You can charge for this.
I don't have a problem with that.
Yeah.
Because that feels like that's a good enough compromise. Because at that point, it's one of those, it's like, okay, they can make more money with the game from people that are willing to spend it. But if you don't want to spend it, you don't get the feeling that you have to.
there's a bunch of people back from all the mainline Borderlands games on your ship that are essentially your crew. Zero is back. He's on the planet that they demoed. You run into him, I guess, on the main quest. And he talks, which I didn't know Zero talked. Did he talk?
You're asking the wrong one on that.
I know. I say, as I can look over and go, yep, there's a copy of Borderlands 2 right there. I barely played it. I think I got given a copy of it. It's like, I barely played this.
I think I got a digital copy of Borderlands through the Games with Gold and barely played it. That's kind of my only interaction with it, so yeah.
Yeah, it's a Borderlands game. If you like a Borderlands game, this is more of that. If you didn't care for a Borderlands game, I'm not sure if there's anything here that will make you go, I totally want to play it now. I think it more or less depends on what are you looking for come September. Depending on what's out in September. Well, you remember when we were talking about the Persona 5 R teaser a while back?
Yeah.
Well, we got information on it. And you know how I said that was probably going to be an updated version of Persona 5 in the vein of one of two games?
Yeah.
Okay, keep that portion of what I said about it being an updated version of one of those two games in mind, but throw out those two games I said, because this is way more than both of them combined. As detailed from the Persona Super Live 2019 concert, we got details on Persona 5 R with the trailer that essentially goes, we have a new party member in the form of Kazumi Yoshizawa, who from our cutscene, from these screenshots, looks to be introduced probably early in the game or to like the middle area of the game. It's hard to place where she's being introduced, but since Shithead is here, it's before Shithead is dead. So there's that. It's before the end of the game. We also have a new confidant, aka an S-Link, in the form of Takuda Maruki, who's a student counselor who comes in after you complete the first dungeon. We also are getting the 3-month times difference from like the end of the game to explore around and talk with our party members. We're also getting a new place to hang out with our team and explore in the form of Kichijoji. You can also take the twins out. And I guess a part of their S-Link, new reworked S-Link possibly. There's an aquarium you can take dates on. There's new types of shadows to fight. There are team attacks with party members. There is a new all-out attack finisher. There are changes to the Velvet Room from the looks of it. From the trailer, we have seen that dungeons are being reworked because, I think I've told you this already, but you know how Joker has a grappling hook in Ultimate?
Yeah.
He doesn't have a grappling hook in 5 at all. But he does in this. Which probably tells you that Sakurai knew and was shown Persona 5 R in development when he was developing Joker for Smash. Because the grappling hook is essentially allowing them to rework most likely all of the dungeons. Because we see at least one part of the first dungeon where you're using a grappling hook to traverse the area. So that's reworked dungeons. we also, again, with our new party member, we have new story events, probably reworking the story to have her involved. Also, from screenshots, we can tell that the bosses are at least the first boss is being reworked, which possibly means all the bosses are being touched up to some variety. So every aspect of this game is being touched to some capacity. That is way more than what Persona 4 Golden did. That is well beyond what Persona 3 FES did. So this is practically a brand new Persona 5 that is only coming to PlayStation 4. And we'll be using the Pro to enhance the game to some degrees. I think it's like bumping up the frame rate to like and getting 4K output with it. So the usual stuff the Pro does.
Right.
There's only one downside. It comes out in October in Japan. It will come out in America next year. Most likely April to May of next year, if I were to throw a dart and see where it lands. But yeah, this is essentially a brand new version of Persona 5 that they will be selling as a full price game, which sucks, but with how much has been reworked, I'm okay with that because this is more than what any DLC would even attempt to do. So, how do you feel on the outside looking in on this?
I don't really know how to feel because, you know, I kind of couldn't touch it even if I wanted to.
Yeah. But the good news is, there is a Persona thing you will be able to touch, except it's not the one we were all expecting. So you remember that Persona... Yeah, you remember that Persona 5S teaser? Or at least the Persona 5S like domain that was registered a while back. That we probably talked about. Well, it's not Persona 5 Switch. Instead, it's Persona 5 Scramble, which is a Musou game. And all the gameplay we got is Joker fighting a bunch of goons with Arsene. And a tease of some lady who will probably be plot important. And I believe this is being developed by the same team that did Hyrule Warriors and Fire Emblem Warriors.
It is.
Okay.
I saw that somewhere else.
I was thinking it was.
This article doesn't say it, but I saw a different article that did.
Yeah. So, and this one is coming to PlayStation 4 and Switch. So, you will get to play Persona 5 something. The only question is, are you excited to play a Musou game that will hopefully be as good as Hyrule Warriors?
I don't know, and I'm more gonna say because of the fact of, you know, we had the really, really good Hyrule Warriors, and then the lead into the Fire Emblem Warriors. So it's like, right now, as far as their more recent stuff, that they're 1 for 1. So I'm like, I don't know.
I'm of two minds of this. Because on one hand, with my experience with the Persona 4 Arena games, just because this is called Persona 5 does not mean it's limited to the Persona 5 cast. Both Arena games had Persona 3 cast members in them. Hell, Ultimax brought in the rest of the Persona 3 cast and has practically everybody playable across both Persona 3 and Persona 4. So it's very likely we could get 3 and 4 cast members playable in this. On the other hand, I don't know how many people are going to be playable if it's just 5. Because it won't be that many. Because the core team is I think 7 plus our new party member, which makes 8. Let me make sure I got the numbers in my head right on this. Nine, actually. 9 with our core cast. 10 if Caroline and Justine get involved. Which, that's it. That's all I could think of that they would throw in as playable. Because outside of that, it would just be, instead of a weapon change, like in Hyrule Warriors, it would be a persona change to change up their moveset, to give these characters different movesets.
Although, you know, that might actually work. Like, in all seriousness, have that as 2 separate selections, so to say, when picking a character.
Well, the weird thing is, the only downside to if that's the case, everyone but Joker will have 2 options. Whereas Joker can have more. Because Joker can equip any persona, whereas the rest of the party is limited to 2 personas, their base and their evolved one. So, and like Caroline and Justine will probably be limited to 1, which will probably be a selection of personas, because they get the book that all your personas are registered in, and they use them out of the book. So they can just use whatever. So you get a mixed moveset with them, I guess. But I can see them giving Joker like 3 or 4 movesets. Because they'll give him an Arsene moveset, a Satanile moveset, and probably 2 more based off of other personas that are popular, like Jack Frost and something else, potentially.
But, I mean, kind of going back to why I think that would be a good idea. If you assumed everyone only had 2 options, that's technically 20 character options then. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
That might be good enough to work with. And then they could always come in and add more characters from previous games as DLC.
Yeah. Because I don't see them passing up the opportunity to just go, yeah, we're going to throw 3 and 4 characters in here. Fuck it.
Well, I don't either, especially seeing what they did do with Hyrule Warriors. And kind of just explode the roster.
Yeah.
It's one of those, I could see that.
And if, like, assuming they add in the core cast from 3 and 4, multiply, I think that would put it at 27 characters, essentially. Because that's no, it's not 27. It's, I think it's 8 or 7. I think it's 7 for those games. That's 14. That'd be 14 additional characters. No, that would be 12 additional characters. My bad. Can't add the navigators in. They're not offensive characters. So it'd be 12 additional characters if they add in the cast of 3 and 4.
Which
assuming I have
up to 21.
Yeah.
Plus, assuming the persona changes, so that could make for a decent sized roster at that point then.
Yeah. Especially since the main characters from 3 and 4 are just like Joker, where they can have multiple personas. So that could be an option. The only problem is that 3 and 4's protagonists might feel samey because their weapons are the same. I'm trying to think if there's like any type of like repeated weaponry across all 3 games, and like there might be a little overlap, but not any like major, like they're using the exact same weapon and would play the exact same. Because I don't think they would. Mainly because nobody in either of the arena games played the same.
Then I would have to feel like they'd probably take that as a base and build off of it from there.
Yeah. Granted, I'm going off the assumption that this may not be limited to the Persona 5 cast, as other spin-offs of this variety have been. Granted, I can't wait for someone to complain that, oh, Persona 1 and 2 are not represented in this, and I go, Persona 1 and 2 have never been represented in any crossover of any variety with Persona since they started doing this. They kind of have been forgotten by Atlas, because no one's played those games. You know what the most recent release of either one of those games is?
What?
Either the Vita, like the original Vita, or no, not the Vita, the PSP. The original PSP, or I think Persona 1 is on the PlayStation Network. It might be on the PlayStation 4 network. I know it's on the 3 network, but I don't know if it's on the 4 network. But yeah, Persona 2 is in neither of. I don't think it's ever been put up on the network. But yeah, the original PSP was the most recent release of both of those games. To give you an idea of the accessibility of both of those games to a general audience. AKA, not much. And though both of those were like remakes of those original games. Actually, I believe, if I dig my drawer here real quick, I have a copy of both. Yeah, there's my copy of Persona 1. I was about to say, when did this come out? I was looking for a copyright date. 2009. 10 years since these games have been released on PSP. Jesus. Granted, I don't think it's been as long, or I think it's been kind of as long for Persona 3, but that's at least had exposure elsewhere. Yeah, I think that's 2011. Like, Persona 3 got mainstream access because of 4. But I'm curious about this. I'm excited for Royale. This does not have a release date, though. So we don't know when Scramble's coming. I would also assume probably not this year at this rate. If Royale's not coming to us at this year, this probably won't either. Unless this gets to be a stopgap for us till Royale.
Which I could see that.
And that's kind of it. I didn't grab an article about all of the crunch, like, nonsense that has come out from several studios. That is wow. Wow. That is shitty. That is extremely shitty. Yeah, ready to talk releases?
I guess so.
All right. We're going to kick off with the 7th, where we got Brief Battles for Xbox One and PlayStation 4, Car Mechanic Manager for Switch, European Conqueror X for Switch, Ghost Giant for PlayStation 4, Our World Is Ended for PlayStation 4 and Switch, Puyo Puyo Champions for Xbox One, PlayStation 4, and Switch. Oh crap, what is it? The new game coming from the Yakuza devs, Judgment. It has a Puyo Puyo like full mini game in it.
Really?
Yes.
Huh.
Like they just put Puyo Puyo in that game, and they also like on the side went, "Hey, if you don't want to wait till Judgment, you can get Puyo Puyo Champions in like 2 weeks." Which is not the first time that they've went, "Hey, we put a game in here." Like they put one of the Tekkens in one of the Yakuza games, like one of the old Tekkens in there, because fuck it.
I mean, everyone loves playing games in games, right?
Yakuza has a lot of content in it.
Yeah.
Like a stupid amount of content in it.
And still can manage to have a really good story.
It's almost like it's not that hard.
It's almost like, compartmentalizing game design works. Because I have to feel like they've got a group that they're told work on the story. And then a group that's told put whatever you want to in it.
Yeah, and they give the story focus, unlike, just to take a shot at live service games, where the story doesn't get to be the focus. Looking at you, Destiny, I don't care. You can drop all this cool lore all day long, but it's not the focus, I don't care.
Yeah.
Anyway, we also have Reverse Crawl for PlayStation 4 and Shakedown Hawaii for PlayStation 4, Vita, and Switch. On the 8th, we have Legend of the Tetrarchs for Xbox One, Meow Motors for Switch, and The Adventures of Bertram Fiddle, Episode 1, A Deadly Business for Xbox One. On the 9th, we have Ascendance for Switch, GT Goku DLC Fighter for Dragon Ball Fighter Z for Xbox One and PlayStation 4. People are a bit sad that this is GT Goku and not regular Goku because people don't like GT.
I mean...
But I do have to agree with Ty with the point of, let them have this. That way they will never ask for anything else from GT at all. Including Baby Vegeta. It is not what you think, but it is bad. For reference, the villain's name is Baby, I believe. Yeah, his name is Baby. B-A-B-Y. He is a slime goop monster that can take over people. So he took over Vegeta. And thus, Baby Vegeta. This is why we let them... This is why we put GT Goku in the game, so we don't have to put in anything else from GT. Because it covers GT Goku...
Works for me.
Yeah, because this also gives us Super Saiyan 4 Goku. So it's like, ooh, okay, no Super Saiyan 4 Goku as a standalone character. Good. We can do other stuff that people will actually give a shit about. That is not GT related. Anyway, we got For the King for Switch, Frame Dragon's Odyssey for Switch, Life is Strange 2, Episode 3, Wastelands for Xbox One and PlayStation 4, Lost Artifacts Soulstone for Switch, Maki Knights Blood Bogos for Switch, Bagoos for Switch, Masquerade Songs and Shadows for Switch, and Monster Puzzle for Switch. On the 10th, we have Ascendance First Horizon for Xbox One, Blazing Beaks for Switch, Dragon Pinball for Switch, Dragon Fang Z, The Rose in the Dungeon of Time for Switch, or not for Switch, for Xbox One. My bad. We've got For the King for Xbox One. We have Lovecraft's Untold Stories for Switch. We have My Big Sister for Switch. We have Reverse Qual for Xbox One and Switch. We've got Saints Row the Third, the full package for Switch. And we have Super Space Serpent Secondary Edition for Xbox One. On the 14th, we have A Plague's Tale Innocence for Xbox One and PlayStation 4. Citrus Alpha for Switch. Evil Defenders for Switch. Rage 2 for Xbox One and PlayStation 4. Redout for Switch. Rock of Ages 2, Bigger and Bolder for Switch, and Sniper Elite 2 or Sniper Elite V2 remastered for Xbox One, PlayStation 4, and Switch. Gotta get the V in there. The V is important. On the 15th, we've got Dungeon Rushers for PlayStation 4 and Switch, Feudal Alloy for Xbox One, Undead Horde for Xbox One and Switch. And on the 16th, we have 39 Days to Mars for Switch, Bubsy Pause on Fire for PlayStation 4 and Switch, Castlevania Anniversary Collection for Xbox One, PlayStation 4 and Switch, Darkwood for Switch, Corral for Switch, Octogeddon for Switch, Project Nimbus Complete Edition for Switch, and Thief Simulator for Switch. And on the 17th, we have Akane for Switch, Darkwood for Xbox One, and Steven Universe Save the Light / OKKO Let's Play Heroes 2 games in one for Xbox One, PlayStation 4, and Switch. Like, the most notable thing here is Rage 2, to be honest. Because guess what is the spam commercial for Twitch right now?
Dragon Rusher or Dungeon Rushers, I mean.
No.
Yeah,
it is Rage 2.
Stupid ad.
Yeah. Kill everything, including this buffalo that's giving me the stink eye. That is that commercial in a nutshell.
Uh-huh.
Which takes us to quick draws, and mine is just saying, hey, Critical Mode came out, and a lot of people don't like it because it's not balanced well, especially on level 1. I'll be honest, I am not really in the mood to play Kingdom Hearts 3, even for a stream. But he did give us New Game Plus. So I might do beginner with New Game Plus to rush through the game as fast as possible. Or as fast as the cutscenes will allow me.
So it'll still take you, what, 4 weeks?
I don't know, probably, unless I decide to go, fuck it, we're going like 6 hours one night. We are getting through as much of this shit as we can as fast as we can, because I don't want to play Kingdom Hearts 3, to be honest. It's a fine game, but a lot of the story stuff makes me just not want to play it. Because, we had an Avengers Endgame, and it doesn't really hold your hand for references and stuff.
Uh-huh.
What if the game didn't do that, and did hold your hand for a lot of stuff? And it even had an entire cutscene dedicated to explaining the plot of this game.
You know what I have to say about that?
What?
They shouldn't have released it on the Xbox One.
Probably.
No, you think about it. This is the only Kingdom Hearts game that you can get on a Microsoft console. They have to explain it to people that are jumping into this because of reasons.
Yeah.
If they hadn't put it on Xbox One, they could have avoided that and actually probably made the game better. Question mark.
Well, the story is also more than that. It's also like nothing happens for 90% of this game until you get to the final world. And then the plot that you expect to be dealing with for this game, now you get to that plot.
Mm-hmm. Makes sense.
Which makes a lot of this boring. Also, for some reason, they decided to recreate Elsa's song from Frozen 100% like frame for frame in this game for like no fucking reason. And that's a cutscene in this game. Is literally Sora and crew on the sidelines as Elsa does her solo number of Let It Go from Frozen.
Because which is like Disney can't let it go.
Apparently. Like, Frozen is weird in that I feel like it got chopped the hell and back because I feel like we're missing story stuff in this. Granted, I feel like we're missing story stuff from several points in this game.
Okay. Since you've said that, I'm now going to say it. There is a game theory video on it that, after watching it, made a lot of sense as to why that probably feels so chopped up.
I didn't watch it, but I got the gist of it, and I'm like, I know what you're talking about, and probably, but that's like the whole fucking game, to be honest.
But I could at least see it with that kingdom. And what might have actually happened, depending on how early they did that, that might have just set the tone for the rest of the game.
Yeah.
Like, if that was one of the first things they pitched Disney's way, and Disney was like, no, you're changing it, yeah, that might have changed the entire direction they were playing in. Because then, all of a sudden, you have to play by their rules.
Well, here's the weird thing. Frozen is like second to last world.
Oh, I know that. Yeah. I fully know that. But it could have also been one of the first ones they did because of it being a new one.
Yeah, because I believe Big Hero 6 is last, but it was one of the first worlds announced. And also was the last world we got gameplay footage of. For the longest time, it was one concept image for Big Hero 6, and that was it.
That's kind of odd.
Yeah. Yeah, Big Hero 6, I think, was the second world announced for 3, but it was the last shown off.
That's kind of making me wonder if maybe that actually what happened.
Yeah, I don't know. Like, the story of Kingdom Hearts 3, along with a certain thing that happens in it that makes people look at the Kingdom Hearts Twitter when they tweet a thing, go, excuse me, you are wrong on this point as someone who played the fucking game. Everyone who knows why, because both Biz and Bloody have retweeted it and commented on it. So, I won't spoil it because I just don't feel like talking about it. But anyway, the main reason I brought this up is not the critical mode. It's, we are going to get a DLC expansion, essentially, called Remind, which essentially is, hey, here's your like, bonus story mode, or bonus story and secret bosses and stuff. Because, there's one super boss in this game. One. And he's not even that spectacularly good. Like, the end game for Kingdom Hearts 3 is this one super boss and grinding materials to, like, upgrade all your Keyblades or, like, synth stuff. Like, boring things. So, yeah, that's cool. We're getting paid DLC expansion that will probably make me play Kingdom Hearts 3 again. But like right now, I don't. Because I've even beat that super boss Because you don't even have to be like level 99 to really like beat that boss. You could be like 50 and you can like destroy that boss. Or you can be like me and say, fuck fighting this boss how I'm supposed to. I'm just going to use Ultima and just say, I'm going to slug it out with this boss, and whoever dies first dies first. I don't care. So yeah. I have mixed feelings on Kingdom Hearts 3 as a whole. I guess whenever I get around to streaming it, y'all can see the story itself if you haven't already, and you'll kind of see why I say that, because oh boy is this game kind of boring on that story front. Which sucks, because this is the end of a saga for Kingdom Hearts. I just find it hilarious that last weekend I watched Endgame and I can go, that's an ending. That's how you end something. This is not how you end something. You don't end something with the dumbest fucking tease in the world that Biz joked about and got right on his first playthrough. Because there's a not Final Fantasy game in this game. Because you go to Toy Story World and, oh look, there's not Final Fantasy. That's a plot point. I wish I was joking. But when I say that the not Final Fantasy game in this Kingdom Hearts game is a plot point, I legitimately mean it's a plot point. God damn it. But me complaining about shit in Kingdom Hearts 3 is another day, I guess. But you don't have a quick draw, right?
Nope.
Alright. I'm glad Ryusoka is good. That way I have a good Toku series to watch. I think tomorrow I'm going to pick up where I left off on Dragonite and finish Dragonite. Just so I have a decent to good writer series. Because I was listening to, I believe it's Writer Love Podcast. And they're listing off people's impressions of Geo. Guess what several people who liked Geo had in common about their comments?
What?
It was fun.
And that's supposed to mean what exactly?
I don't know. That was the gist of a lot of their comments, is it's fun. And I'm just like, what about this show is fun? Because some people were, there were some people negative, but they had a bit more positive. Although one of them admitted to liking Amazons, which makes me go, God, that's another series that I need somebody to do a deep dive analysis of to like give me an idea of what the fuck is good about this goddamn, like, I had this realization recently about Kamen Rider Amazons. It's a Resident Evil story. Because a pharmaceutical company develops a virus that turns people into flesh-eating monsters that then let those monsters out for experimentation in order to rule the world.
Oh my god.
That is literally a Resident Evil plot. This fucking pharmaceutical company over here is literally Umbrella. And I'm like, this doesn't work because there's nothing fun and enjoyable about this, like Resident Evil. Like the good Resident Evils that are tongue-in-cheek and corny. and cheesy. It's not here. It's just dark, grim, serious. Please take us serious. We are the adult writer series. As I can't help but laugh at how desperately it wants me to take it seriously. Because I can't. I literally can't. Because it is trying way too hard. I'm tempted to make that a thing in the future where we go through season 1. Because it's 13 episodes?
The
only problem is they have a bit of like varying length. I think the first episode's like an hour or something. Yeah, season 1 is like 13 episodes. Oh goody, it doesn't have runtimes. I swear it's like an hour or something. Like, they have weird, not like half-hour lengths at times. But I'm tempted for us to do like season 1 of it, so you can experience just like how dumb this show is. It's like, I honestly can't tell you anyone's name besides, I believe it's Haruka's the main character. Jin is the other main character. Mamoru is an important side character. And I don't remember anybody else. The other characters are Haruka's mom, Haruka's girlfriend, Jin's girlfriend, or no, I think it's Jin's wife. I think they're married. Are they married? I think they're married. Old guy, girl with knives, con man with shotgun, and I think that's it. I think that's everybody in the show that's important. Yes. That is all I remember character-wise for Amazons. From like season 1.
Well,
yeah. Maybe that will be a review one day. I have a better thing planned for us. That is not that. Not yet, anyway. Anything else?
I can't think of anything, actually.
Alright. I'll be continuing Ace Attorney and Paper Mario next week. The usual Rampant Gaming and for sure Twilight Princess, maybe?
Yeah.
Next week?
Yeah. TP for sure Friday.
Alright. I'm running the GameCube version for reference.
And I'm going to be running the Wii U HD remake.
Yay! The only difference is the thing you can access with Wolf Link, is it?
I think that's the only difference.
Yeah, because this isn't...
Besides, like, minor UI, like they did with Wind Waker.
Yeah, because this isn't mirrored like the Wii one. Because the Wii one's mirrored, if I remember right.
Yep.
Because it has to compensate for motion controls, and Link's a lefty, not a righty, but we gotta flip everything so he's a righty now.
Yeah.
I don't remember there being anything else. There might be a difficulty mode that gives you that mirrored mode. Is that a thing?
I don't know, actually.
Yeah. I know there's a bit more amiibo integration, but that's more just like difficulty options. Because like the Ganondorf, I think, like doubles damage to you, if I remember right, when you scan it.
I can't remember.
Because I remember Tom did a challenge run where he had the Ganon amiibo on, and I think he could only save at some certain points that he self-imposed on himself. It was some ridiculously hard challenge for like no reason. I don't think he got anywhere on it. Yeah, there's that. We should be reviewing Eternal or Double Returns Eternal next week, meaning we will get to start on O's the week after. Hopefully. But,
Yeah.
Anything else?
I can't think of anything, actually.
All right, then. We will see you then, folks.